Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I really like this story. Take a look at the headline. XRP and Ethereum poised to dominate two early use cases for cryptocurrency, says Ripple executive Ashish Burla, and he's this handsome gentleman on the screen right here. He is SVP of product and corporate development at Ripple. And he also happens to be a board member at Bitso, which is a cryptocurrency exchange that is partnered with Ripple and officially on RippleNet, serving as a pool of liquidity on via on-demand liquidity, which of course utilizes XRP as a bridge currency. And so I'm going to run through this, and it's fascinating because a number of things that he covered in here are things that I've just held to be true in general, and so I want to break down some of what he's saying here. And I do want to say this before opening up the video any further. As far as Ethereum, because he's citing use cases here, which is, you know, to me, this is just like, yes, 2 thumbs up, let's talk about this, because utility, actual use cases, that's what really matters. And as far as Ethereum goes, conceptually, what they're doing in terms of smart contracts, I think it's absolutely fantastic, brilliant stuff. I don't think there are a whole lot of people out in the world of crypto that dispute conceptually the value of smart contracts. What I would like to have explained, now of course there could be technological shortcomings with Ethereum. You know, the top 3 cryptocurrencies, XRP is the only one that nobody's squawking about over actual technical ability in terms of transactions per second, and the way in which the double spin problem is overcome. In the case of course, with XRP, it's through the consensus mechanism. But you know, it's again, as far as the use case, no beef there. But the question that I always come back to, and I'm still waiting after over 2 years in the space to hear a really solid argument for this, why do you have to have a particular cryptocurrency attached to the blockchain? Why can't it just be a blockchain, and then in terms of payment you can use whatever it is that you want? Because of course, what do you, if you own Ethereum, what are you going to use it for? Now, a lot of people are just using it to invest, and I get that's being done with every cryptocurrency on the planet at this point for speculative investment. Almost people are almost treating it the way that you treat, say, a stock. You know, if except for the stock, you kind of own part of the company if you're doing that, so it's fundamentally a little bit different there. But people are still treating it in a similar fashion there. But outside of that, why can't you just have a platform that does what Ethereum is seeking to do, but doesn't have a coin attached, and you can just pay however it is that you want to pay? There's no interoperability offered here. And so that goes back to the question that Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, has cited in the past, is do you need a new currency for every type of new idea out there? And in a video that I saw, he politely responded, I don't know. Which I think is more like, I don't think so. That's kind of the way that I'm reading it there. And so I certainly don't know how all of this is going to unfold. I think that I could certainly see a huge platform like this, you know, taking off. But we'll just see. Now, let me do my little opening here. Really, this is the type of content that I usually dig in after I ask you to subscribe and like. So can I just do that first? Let me do that, and then we'll proceed here. If you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a fan of real-world utility in the world of cryptocurrencies, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because you and I, we are 2 birds of a feather here, my friend. Now here again, the title, XRP and Ethereum poised to dominate 2 early use cases for cryptocurrency, Ripple executive Ashish Burla. XRP and Ethereum are becoming increasingly dominant in 2 distinct early use cases for cryptocurrency, according to Ripple Senior Vice President of Product Ashish Burla. And at the recent Goldman Sachs Technology and Internet Conference in San Francisco, Burla said he believes it will be difficult for competing companies and crypto assets to outperform XRP in the world of cross-border remittances. And that's true for a lot of reasons, including technology. Also because standards matter. Once and it's not true just in the world of crypto, but once something really takes hold, you can think about once, remember when what was it? DVD beat out HD DVD. Am I thinking of that? Or it was Blu-ray. Oh, that's way wrong. Blu-ray beat out HD DVD. You know, standards matter. You know, things that, and then once there's a standard in place, it's kind of hard to knock it until sufficiently advanced technology comes along to displace it. It's that type of thing. And once you've solved a major problem and XRP is used as a bridge currency, good luck knocking it out of its place. And that's one of the arguments that I've made in this channel for a long time. And he actually does cite something along those lines a little bit later on. So check this out. Now, he cites, the same is true for Ethereum, says Burla, when it comes to decentralized finance, in parentheses, the right DeFi, just to abbreviate it, if you will, which is an umbrella term for a crypto-based push to automate and remove middlemen from traditional financial services like borrowing and lending. And here's a quote now from Ashish. I think that Ethereum is really interesting in that over $1 billion in loans is the DeFi ecosystem. So they really own that narrative. They have products and an ecosystem around that narrative. XRP, the digital asset that powers the Ripple network in any destination where our products are live, XRP is the most liquid digital asset. And so for cross-border payments and remittance products, I think that XRP will perform really well in those use cases. But everyone has to find their niche and use case and build that ecosystem. And the further ahead you get, the harder it is to dislodge. Ding, ding, ding. This is what I've been saying on the channel for the entirety of the channel. Standards matter. Once in place, very, very, very difficult to dethrone a standard, whatever it is, not just in crypto, but the world over in any facet of life, frankly. And I cited that one example with the HDD. But, you can think back to the 80s. I'm an 80s child. I was born in 83, right? VHS beat out, what the hell was the other thing called? Beta, was it Betamax or something like that? There was something else that was technologically kind of superior, but the tapes didn't run as long, and there's some other things. And so VHS, while technologically not quite as awesome, ended up becoming the standard and wasn't dislodged until what? DVDs, right? And then his quote continues here, though. So, for example, with cross-border payment, I think it's going to be increasingly hard to dislodge XRP, and with DeFi, as the ecosystem expands, it will be increasingly hard to dislodge Ethereum because it's so liquid for those use cases. Now, Burla touts Ripple's remittance volume between the US dollar and Mexican peso, which is on the rise thanks in large part to the company's partnership with MoneyGram, and here's another quote. One of the things I'm really proud of at Ripple is last week over at Ripple, using XRP, we did 7.5% of the total US dollar to Mexico remittance volume over our product. So things are moving. We're seeing more projects with real-world adoption. We don't need more experiments. We want to see this change the world. Yes, exactly. Enough with the science experiments, as Brad Garlinghouse likes to call them. We've got real-world utility functioning today. Think about this. It's really happening today while we're just going about our daily lives. XRP is quite literally actively being used at any given moment to facilitate cross-border payments, and in terms of settlement, 24/7, 365. Just saying. Now, according to Burla, Ripple remains focused on giving financial institutions an easy way to use XRP to move money across borders. If Ripple's mission is successful, he says, expensive correspondent banks will no longer be needed to establish trust when moving capital from one place to another. And here's the quote. Another quote from him. Programming money is really good, and in that there's no intermediaries. It's freely moving, and for our products at Ripple, that's a big deal because today, if you want to move money across borders, you have to have relationships in each country you want to move money in. You have to have a bank account. You have to have pesos in Mexico. And now what you can do with digital assets and XRP is you just trust the digital asset to move into that country. You don't need that bank account. You don't need that pre-funding in Mexican pesos. You leverage, and between crypto exchanges, there's no legal agreement. They're just trusting that the value will move using a digital asset, and that's a game changer. Absolutely, and this is the cool thing. This is exactly to the core of why you need a decentralized cryptocurrency that has an open market value, such as XRP. And XRP is the only cryptocurrency being positioned for this use case. And really, all you have to trust in as a result, you have to trust in cryptography. You have to trust that cryptography works. That's it. Okay. Then his quote continues here. You can launch in a new country in a matter of weeks. We're trying to get it down to days, but you can launch in a matter of weeks. Before that, you have to open a bank account. You have to wire money down there. You have to get the right kind of regulations. That's a big game changer. Again, you're moving expensive correspondent banks in the middle, and you're replacing it. You used to trust them, but now you're trusting a set of computers and digital assets, and I think that's a big deal. So much of what he said in this article is so much of what I've been saying to you for over a year on this channel right now, and it just kind of reaffirms that I think I'm largely on the right path. And it's not an accident. It's like I'm just trying to get to the truth of the matter. I don't pretend to know everything. I don't suppose that I'm right about every opinion that I currently hold, but I'm always seeking the truth. And that's why I always reserve the right also to change what I think is most likely, or what I actually believe as new data enters the world. And I think that that's how you should kind of conduct yourself in life in general. You don't want to stick your head in the sand or have such an ego that you can't admit when you're wrong about something. But a lot of the core things he's talking about, the direction this is going, the fact that real world utility matters, so many of these things, it just makes all the sense in the world to me, and XRP is here to stay, and that's why I couldn't be more confident that it's going to be worth in the future substantially more than it is today. Now, that said, I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!